to the user. After user research, we'll now start doing the ones that will make you think. All right, so we'll start with what user research is, the purpose, and then the type of user research you have. And we'll dive into user research plan, user research reports. Because after the plan, right, you need to get a report. Once you're done with all of that, you can now move into doing any other thing you want to do and move on. So then what is user research? User research is just the way that we use to actually investigate our users to find out what exactly they want. So it's just like gathering facts and evidence from them. So remember I said you can never assume your users. Do not assume them. Do not assume you know them. So for you to be even able to know them very well, you need to talk to them. So user research is that avenue that gives you it's that opportunity you have to be able to talk to your users. So we have two types of user research, right? We have the qualitative and the quantitative user research. For the qualitative user research, what you're doing, it's more like you trying to find out how people think and how they feel. It's like you trying to find out their opinion. So just based on the meaning or just based on the word quality, you know that you have to do more of conversations, right? You need to converse with them to be able to get their opinions, to be able to know the problems about them, to be able to know their motivations and all of that. And then when we talk about quantitative has to do with data, numerical data. So for anything that has to do with numbers, please, who is drawing on my screen? For anything that has to do with numbers, right? Uh, okay, yeah, I've turned it off. So for anything that has to do with numbers, that's what you do with quantity. So for quantity, right, just like the name implies, you can send out surveys and you get results, or you judge that particular kind of research based on how many persons have filled your surveys or how many persons answered. But for qualitative, you don't even care if you're just using 10 persons as your sample size, because you have to talk to them and get real data for them. Now, for you to be able to actually understand them very well, you need to know the following things. Who are your users? Who are they? What are their needs? What is it that they need very well? What are their wants? How are they currently doing things, and how would they like to do it? So these are mostly things you ask from your questions, right? From your questions. All right, sorry guys. So who are your users? What are their needs? What do they want, and how? So the most important question that I feel like sometimes is very important to ask is how they currently do things. So going back to our example, I like using that particular example. How do I currently do things if I want to wash my clothes now? I just pile them for weeks. Let's say 3 weeks, 2 weeks, depending on how free I am on a weekend. For the past 3 weeks, right? I've not been free during the weekend. I've always been working during the weekend. So those clothes will pile up, and then once I have small opportunity, I start washing. So you just imagine that once I'm washing, it's like I would have to use almost the whole day to wash. That's the way I do it. But I want something that will be seamless. I want something that will be better than what we are currently doing and all of that. So the next thing is, what is the purpose of user research, right? So if you don't know the importance of a particular thing, you would end up not doing it. That's the reason why I can categorically tell you that most Nigerian startups don't know the purpose of doing research. So what they do is they see a problem, right? Or they assume that this is a problem. Can you guys still hear me? Hello,
Yeah,
Fab,
we
please,
can.
you should be my,
Yes,
yeah, okay.
we
Because
can
I
hear you,
can't
but
see my mind. I can't see my mic moving.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right, thank
I
you.
can hear you. Yeah.
All right. All right, thank you guys. So why is it important? If you don't know why it's important, you might end up not doing it. Most of the mistakes that we make when the product is live can be avoided from the onset. So one of the importance of doing user research is that it will help you to design better products. So it's just like let's use something that we can all relate with, right? Say you want to sew a clothes, you saw something online and you want to sew the clothes, and then your tailor is far away, and you have to like host this disabled sharing for me. How?
Because I can't see your screen anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Host this disabled sharing for me. All right, thank you. Um, so imagine that you want to sew a cloth, right? And you're not, let's say your tailor is in Port Harcourt and you're in Lagos, or the person you saw the cloth on, the person's status is in Port Harcourt and you're in Lagos, and then the person is saying you should give him your measurement, right? And you go and meet another tailor to give you the measurement and you send it to him. Now something might happen there because this person doesn't know you. The person might want to add like 1 inch to anything you give to this person. But if the person, there's every possibility that the clothes won't come out well because it's not the person that took the measurements. And there's also possibility that it will come out well. But if the person that took the measurement himself or herself, the clothes would come out very well. That's if the person knows what the person is doing. So user research will help you to build better product. You get to know you get to know, should I say, you get to see the lights at the tunnel, right? With user research, you get to know if people would actually use the product with user research. So that's one thing. The goal is to create something that people would use, right? With research, you would know what they want to use. And if you don't do it and just assume that people need this and you send it out, you would end up saying that you've wasted money, you've wasted time, you've wasted all of that. Then user research will help you keep user story at the center. What I mean by keeping user story at the center, I said user story is you stating the problem in the voice of your user, right? So let's say as a user, I want to be able to use username and password so that I can log in. If you're trying to design based on user research and you already know the user story, what you design will be in line with the user story. So the next one is user research will help you save time and money. With user research, you already know if this project is going to work and you get to end it. If it's not going to work, for those that have sense, you just get to stop it. User research, you don't do guesswork. It's just real facts. That you're not guessing anything. You're just doing using real facts. Then user research can be done on a budget, right? Uh, you'll be able to how will I put it? You know the money. You can use small money to do user research. How much will it cost if you gather everybody in class and tell them to fill your survey? That's if everybody in class they are part of your target audience, right? If they're not part of your target audience, then you just have to look for where your target audience are. If you want to do something around phone, let's say you want to do something that people can easily come, book for services and all of that. Guys, please just give me 1 minute. I need to pick this call. Hello, sorry guys, sorry for that. Okay, so user research can be done on a budget. It doesn't really cost anything. You want to do something for people that need how do I put it? What kind of services do they need? People that will need phone stuff and all of that. Where do you think you can get them? You need to go to Instagram, right? You can go to Instagram to get those people very well. If you need to do something that will spark people talking a lot, you go to Twitter. So you can do it on a budget. You don't necessarily need plenty money to do it. But then you might need money if you need to go to all of that. So the next thing we are looking at is how to plan user research plan, right? So we'll go straight to user research methods first before we get to user research plan. So what are the kind of methods? I said we have two types of user research. We have qualitative method and we have quantitative method, right? Now for qualitative method, there are different things you can use to conduct your research. One of it is guerrilla testing. So what exactly is guerrilla testing, right? It is you now trying to go to your location, right? Let's say for instance, you want to do something for people in the north, right? And you need to So you need to for the gorilla testing, right? You need to go to their environment. So you want to do something for people in the north. You go to the northern states. You go to one of the northern states, maybe Kanu or any of these states, and you just stay there. What you're doing there is you're trying to get pictures, you're trying to get videos, you're trying to take all of these things to be able to reply, to be able to get a lot of what's the word, right? Evidence. You're able to get a lot of evidence. So this, you might not plan it. All I can do is I go there or I come to class and I want to know if people are actually following the class. So what I'm going to do is I'll just stay and I'll start taking pictures of how you're learning and all of that. You might not even know that I'm taking pictures of you. At the end of the day, I've conducted my research to say that okay, during class time, these people are following or they are concentrating. And then for the ones that are not concentrated in class, you can also see them. And then you can come to a conclusion to say 50% or 100% of the people in this class are actually concentrating. Then we have the interview. So the interview is like the one-on-one method that we all know, right? This is the most popular. You want to conduct a research, you talk to Fab and say, okay, Fab, I want to ask you some questions, and you ask her the questions to be able to find out what exactly she wants or what's her pain points. You want to get her pain point, and then you talk to her. From talking to her, you'll be able to notice her moves, how she's responding. You can tell if she's trying to sugarcoat the response or all of that. And then we have focus groups, right? So for focus groups, this is very this is something that we do most times, even in your teamwork, even in your capstone project, right? You'll be able to do that. You'll be able to do that. So one of the things you do during this process is you merge people into different groups. So after merging them into different groups, you now start communicating. You now start a discussion. So one of the things I tell people that if you want to do a creative focus group, right, and you want to do something around football, right? What you need to do is go to fields morning where guys are gathered and they are playing football, or go to viewing centers and just spark a conversation, and you see that they would participate. People will participate. Once they are participating, you're getting response, you're getting data from all of them. And then we have field studies, almost similar like gorilla testing. What you're doing for this field study is that you're moving into their environment also, and you're just observing all of them, how they are doing their stuff. And then you are, after observing them, you're getting videos, pictures, and anything you can think of. We have in-lab testing where you're observing your users complete a particular test. So let's say, just like, let's use from what we did yesterday as an example. While I gave us a task, right, to do, and it was a classwork, so I was around to check how you guys are completing the task. Then for those persons that could not do like one of the shapes, I was giving them ways on how they can do it. So that's like the in-lab testing, where you give them a particular task in a controlled environment and tell them to ask them to describe their actions, their thoughts, how they felt about the whole class. At least I'm able to know how Fab felt about the whole task. She said she used her brain for the first time, whether she was just designing. So you get that kind of thing. That's what in-lab testing is. And then we have CAT sorting that you mostly use for information architecture, right? And I have explained this CAT sorting before. I need people, I need to buy something, or I need to buy, yeah, I need to buy something, and I don't know what I want to buy, but I want my friends to suggest what I want to buy. So at the end of the day, if everybody, let's say I want to buy a phone, and I have my spec is around, the kind of phone I want to use is around Samsung and iPhone. And then I know that these are the phones I want to use, and I'm asking my friends around to tell me, what phone do they think I should buy? And then almost all my friends are saying that I should buy iPhone. Automatically, if I have the money, I'll just go for iPhone. All about. So is there any question before we move further?
No question from me.
Okay. Taiwo, how about you? Okay, no question. All right, so the next.
I hope we'll have the slide of the.
So let me just send it. It's not a slide, it's online. So the reason why most times I use online is so that you can also search for yourself.
All right.
Well, let me just send this link right now.
Okay, thank you.
You can just register. You have audio. Register on open.
No, this one is a link. It's not the group. It's a link.
And if you register on an Open UI UOS, you will get that.
No, this one is not Open UI.
So
Sorry,
This is not Open UI.
This is not
now.
Open
This
UI.
career.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not Open UI. All right, so let me continue. So that's it for qualitative. Remember that qualitative is anything you do in qualitative kind of research is that research that you carry out to actually know what people feel, how they feel, and all of that. And it doesn't have to do with the number of persons that you are able to get at once. Now, when we talk about quantitative method, for quantitative method, you're concerned about the figures, right? And that's when you can give you can take, like, you can give a judgment and say this is what happens. So for quantitative, we have the user survey where you get to the most popular one. You use with Google Form, Google Form, yes, and you use there are some other tools that I'm going to talk about in the process. So yeah, Survey Monkey is also another one that you use. And then we have the first click testing. Now, for the first click testing, is just like you set up a text for people and just analyze where they would click first on your platform. So let's say, for instance, right, when I wanted to start this class, this is what I did, right? I typed user research. I'm going to okay. All right. So this is what I did, right? User research. I searched user research, and then this popped up. Career funding. This popped up. This popped up. So you can see different things popped up at the same time. But then what did I choose? I chose this. So that's what this particular method is telling you, right? You need to you're setting up a test and you're checking where people are clicking first for them to complete the task. What is the task I want to do? This is mostly for prototype. The task I want to do is to get a resource or a material that I can use to teach you online, so that it won't be like I am preparing my own material myself or I have something somewhere stored. So I want you to know that it's beyond the material. You can pick any material at any point to teach. And then if the people that set up this, they are trying to do tests, the first place they know that I clicked is Foundry and all of that. So we have the eye tracking. This is first click testing. For eye tracking, right? What you're doing is you're trying to measure the gaze of the eyes. You're trying to observe the user to see what they look at first. If I give you my phone and I open my account balance, right? I'll be able to now say, where is this person looking first? Let's say I open my Kuda bank, right? The first place most of you will look at is the account balance. Whereas there are other things on the FIMA app. You have send money, you have buy data, you have all of those things. But with eye tracking, I'll be able to measure where you're looking at first. So it's very expensive, right? Just imagine that you want to start looking how people are seeing. It's very expensive. Is your visual mapping data our users click on the website. So one of the tools that I use is Crazy Egg. So if you go to Crazy Egg, yeah, this is one thing you think Crazy Egg, where this is its map. You can see surveys and all of that. It's not free, right? So what this is going to do is once you start clicking on a particular thing, why is it not clicking? Okay, you can see the sample of this. What it's going to do is it's going to show you where people are clicking most, the number of persons in, and all of that. I can decide to put a web, for instance. Let me see, design school. For instance, let's say design school, any website that you build, right? Once you put it, you'll be able to see your heat map. Which website in the Jumia? Let me just use Jumia. That's if it's going to work. Okay, so I think this is network right now. Once you put in your website, right, you have 30 days free trial, and then you'll be able to see where people are clicking and where they are avoiding in the design analytics. This is very popular. The one that we use Google Analytics to be able to see how many persons are using the page, where they are from, the page views, all of those things. You use Google Analytics for.
Hello, Ma, we can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now. Are
Oh,
your
okay.
screen at home?
Host, please. Yeah, host. I don't know why. I'm not logged out of the meeting, but my screen just stays and go off. Is the host here? Thank you.
Yeah. I just made the calls now.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so this is another so how do you leverage on the user research methods, or how do you start thinking of the method that you need to use for your project? The first one is you need to discover methods that you can still use. Can you guys hear me? Or I need to switch.
We can hear you now, but the line
It's kind of breaking.
is
It's
breaking.
breaking, right? So all right. So let me switch network now. You recording. Okay, so while we talked about that, we have two types of research, right? The qualitative and the quantitative. We still have, you can still split them into two. That's the attitudinal and the behavioral. So for the first one, what you're doing at this point is you're just listening to the user's word. And the second one, which is behavioral, you're trying to observe them. So you can still divide each of the methods that you've learned today into two of these ones. You listen to what they say and you observe their behaviors. So now, how do you get these methods, or how do you determine which method that you want to use for your project? The first one is you need to determine what is relevant for your users. For diary study, yeah, you have users to log in their um, performance of activities or record their daily interaction with a user. Then we have contextual inquiries, where you interview suitable users in their own environment to find out how they perform the tasks in question. Then the next one is explore. You see how all users address their needs. That's card sorting. You help them, tell them to help you do it. Then we have the customer journey map, where you get to um, review potential pitfalls and crucial moments. Then you test. Then you evaluate your designs to using usability studies and all of that. Then you do accessibility evaluation to actually know um, people if people if people how they can use it. Then you listen to their perspective, then you get to uncover different problems from them. So that's one way you can actually do all of this. So let me check if there's anything I need to cover here. There's nothing. So we'll just move straight to user research plan. Okay. So user research plan, this is it. Okay, so what is a user research plan, right? A user research plan is like just the way you know what plan is. It's like how you do to actually the steps you take. It's like a document that you use to outline everything you need to do during the user research process, and you need to think about. So you have a plan for life, right? You know what you do. You'd follow that plan step by step to be able to achieve your goals. So generally, that's what plan is. It's like a document or a slide or anything that you use to outline the objective um, and maybe all your consideration before you give it to your stakeholders. Now, who are stakeholders? Stakeholders are people that are involved in the design process. So all of those important people that you need to get, they are your stakeholders that you need to tell about what you want to do. So what are the things that you need to put in your plan, right? So this is the user research plan template. The first thing is what decision do you want to make? What decision are you making with your user research, right? Is there any chat for me? What decision are you making with your user research, right? And then the next one is why. How did the opportunity come about? What is the problem? Just say the problem statement, and then what are the company goals? What is your company planning to achieve using the user research? Uh, what are they planning to achieve with what you want to do? And then anticipated outcome. What do you feel like they want to? What do you want to achieve at the end of the goal? Right, the outcomes that you feel. Then you put any assumption or hypothesis, any assumption that you have. Now, this is like the most important part, the approach. Which research method are you using? Are you using interviews? Are you using direct studies? Are you using focus group, card sorting? Any of the research method that you're using, what is the study design that you're using, if it's moderated or unmoderated? You're also thinking about the participants. How many people are you going to use for your research? So with the participants, this is very important because for some person, if you don't put the number of participants you want to use for your research, you might just end up using any and any person. And then incentive, this is also very important. You know that there are some platforms where you just go and sign up as a researcher, as a user research person. So for anybody conducting user research can just use you for the whole process. And then how long is it going to last? If you're doing interviews, right, how long is the section going to last? Then you have to include your stimuli, that's describe what you will test. You get to put images, videos, anything you can think of, or a live site, you put it there. And then you put your timeline. How long is this going to last? Am I going to do it in 1 week, or I'm going to do it in 3 days? And then you also include any link that is involved to it. So remember, you get to know what your goals are, right? Your business goals, methodology, all of these one have actually explained all of that. Okay. So how do you identify your research goals, right? The first way to identify your research goals is you need to first of all put what okay, so you need to state what you're trying to learn from the research. So let me ask a question here, right? We've been too quiet. For most of you that chose a particular idea, what do you think you're trying to learn from the whole problem, or what do you think you're trying to do with the whole problem?
Okay, so for me, like the one I chose, the goal is actually to help busy persons their basic domestic needs in terms of getting necessary help for them to fix that pain point. Just like you mentioned, you said for your laundry, for instance, you could pile up for weeks and all. So if that service is rendered, that is like going to like, and basically psychologically it will be affecting wherever you're working, or probably you are like you have something important to do, and maybe the cloth you need is among the pile of clothes you need to wash. But once that is fixed, you don't have that worry anymore. You just like you have someone to fix that for you. So that is like one of those things that I thought of. Like, yes, there are quite a lot of persons that will be in that busy space and they need to fix a lot of things, and that can even affect them, like to be productive at some point in whatever they're doing. It might be like the list of things, but it's going to be one of those things that would affect their productivity as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Fab. Is there any other person that wants to say anything? David, why do I feel like you want to say something? Hello, is there another person that wants to tell me why? Especially for those of you that, okay, yes, for those that choose, why did you actually choose that? What are you trying to learn from that? We had different groups and you decided to pick one. Like, what is your reason? Let's not make this class though like this now. Let's be active.
Okay. Good morning.
Yeah,
It's
good morning.
David.
Yeah, David, good morning.
For me, I still feel there's more to learning. So I chose education because I still feel there's still some gaps, some setback, that learning shouldn't be only physical, just like what we are doing right now. So I believe there could be more solutions to providing learning to all group, age, even race. So I'm looking at something, Sha, but it's not yet clear for now.
Oh, okay. Esther, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning.
I chose the beauty app, and the reason why I choose that was because I wanted the users to be convenient and be able to like find like to be able to be convenient also. And so there are some like people that don't like going out, and there are some people that have like religious beliefs, like let me say like the Muslims now, they like to like cover their hair, and if they have to like go outside to make their hair, many of them don't like opening their hair. So situation whereby I can just book somebody, make an appointment with somebody, and the person will come to my house and make my hair for me. I feel like it's convenient and is like accessible and all of that. And also you'll be able to like monetize your app and all of that. So that's the reason why I choose the beauty app.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so first of all, yeah, oh, okay, is there anybody's hand that is off? Let me just check.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Onye.
Okay, good morning. This is Onye. I choose education app because as a volunteer at Slum to School, I understand what education can do in the life of everybody. So, I mean, we are in the era of a digital world. So, even at Makoko, people that live in Lagos, there's a slum called Makoko. So, through digital world, we'll be able to take education to children living in slums. So they'll be able to connect through Zoom and learn different things, even without going to the physical classroom. So that's why I choose education, so that users can conveniently, access any material, anywhere they are, whichever area you are, if we can take education to slums, imagine with all the network issue, that means it's something that is achievable. So that's why I choose education. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Tomisi, you want to say something? Okay, so why there's nothing. So I've heard the reason why everybody chose it. So this is how to now get your research goals, right? You need to know what you want to learn from your whole research. You need to also define a known problem. So for now, we already know the challenges, right? Some of us we know the challenges. Some persons don't know the challenges. What we are just trying to do is we already know what we want to learn in the whole process. So this is going to help you to do. So some of the questions you need to ask yourself currently now for the product that you chose or the idea you chose is, what do I want to know? What is the next big thing that I need to do with this particular idea that I chose? What is motivating me? And what is motivating the users? How do they behave? Now, let's say, for instance, for those in Makoko, right? I've seen a couple of videos around there, and I know that those people, they don't have access to so many things. So that's how they currently behave. I'm taking all of those things. What do I want to know? How do they use? Okay, there's no product currently, but how do they learn? What are their pain points in their current situation? Asking yourself this kind of questions, right, will help you to be able to define your research goals. Then the next question is, what don't I know? Although you can't answer this question, but it's very important. What don't you know in the education? We have so many fintech apps, right? We have so many edutech apps, but you need to know what is missing, and then what you don't know about all of this app. So with research and all of that, you get to uncover it. You need to also ask yourself, how will you know when you've learned? How will you know if you actually, like the word done, I've actually been able to achieve that I put in my mind? And then what goals will this work support? What is it going to support? What is it going to secure? So one of the things that they ask, right, during if you doing interviews and all of that, you see questions like what SDG goal is this your particular idea trying to solve and all of that? Then what's the development process? What decision will this do and all of that? Now, for you to develop your research question, this is important to us, right? Your research question should be specific, it should be practical, and it should be actionable. So for specific, you need to it should be specific enough that you know when you have found the answer. So let me say, for instance, what is your name? Is very specific. My name is Fab. I've gotten the answer with my name is Fab. But imagine I now start beating around the bush. So I don't know you. I don't know where you stay. I don't, and it's just one name I want to get. Maybe I start beating around the bush, asking instead of what is your name that I'm going direct. I'm not going to ask plenty questions. At the end of the day, you might end up answering the question and you didn't answer your name. And then it needs to be practical enough that you could find answers with your research. You could find answers by even just observing your users. And then it should be actionable. If you answer the question, you should be able to make changes based on the reply that they gave to you. So I can't come and start asking you plenty questions when I don't need to do it. So now these are examples of some good questions. Yeah, we're going to user research questions and the kind of questions that you need to use, right? Some of the good questions I need to ask: how are users able to successfully navigate the support page on our website? This is a very good question, or a very good research question. What are the primary motivating fast factor behind the decisions? So these are examples of very good questions. Then the third thing is you need to gather data from stakeholders, right? Like I said, your stakeholders are those people that make informed decision about anything you're doing. Now you come to a new company, right? Let's say for this program, our stakeholders are Michael. We have let's say the staffs of Next Factory, Adiola, and all of that. They are major stakeholders in in this particular class. So if you need something very important, you get to ask them. You get to meet them to ask them questions about what you're doing, right? And they will get to give you answers. So you need to gather data and existing insights. That if you're working for a company, let's say Flutterwave should employ you, would you just go and start conducting research straight up from them? No, you need to know what they've done before and what you could do better. So you can do interview to ask them questions. You can do secondary research for some companies. For everything you do with them, you document it. So if I'm coming new, I'll be able to just pick up the document and read. And then you can use customers' feedback. You can decide to do a pool of all your customers and ask them if they are okay and what they need to for you to do better. So some of the questions you can include to okay, potential stakeholders actually. These people are people that you know, right? The people that make decisions, people that send in money, the people that are involved in the UX process, your development team, the front end guys, the back end guys, all of these people are part of your stakeholders. And then secondary research, like I said, you can get a document to start reading to know about them. Then research framework. Um, we've talked about research framework. Be your methodology. What are the things you want to use for it? What is the method you want to use to actually do your research? Then what kind of design are you using? For the design, it has to do with, will it be moderated? Will I be the one to carry it out, or I can just send it out? For interview, right? You'll be the one to moderate, you'll be the one to send the questions and all of that. And then for what tools will you need, what will be tested, what exactly do you want to test, and so on and so forth. Then there's a what we call recruiting strategy. For recruiting strategy, how are you going to get your users? Where are you going to see them from? Are they people, let's say for instance, those if you want to do something, would you go to their environment? What tools do they use and all of that? So you get to think of your target users and how you can bring them in. Then these are like the best sizes that you can use. If you're doing something like an interview, you need at least 3 to 10 people to be able to help you. A and B testing, 5 to 8. Focus group, you need at least 5 to 10 persons per group. For diary studies, you need at least 10 to 15 participants. Card sorting, you need at least 15 people to be able to select what you want. Quantitative, you need at least 30 participants. Then you can see for survey, has the highest number because survey is like people just fill forms. It has to do with data, it has to do with the numbers. So for survey, that's what you need to do. Now we have what we call the screener survey. What is the screener survey? It's like a brief question that you use to actually determine if the people that you want to use pass the requirement. So before you got into this, right, you had to first of all do an online test. After the online test, they invited you for an interview, and then the interview you got in. So that's the example of a screener test. You first of all, the first listen that they gave to you, the first question that they gave to you online to fill, that's like the screener test. They want to know people that can use computer or people that know basic stuff before they move you to the next level, right? So this is what you do. You filter them by behavior, right? You filter them how they behave. You filter them by their age. You filter them by plenty things. The people that answer the right questions. So you can filter people. Then you need to also plan for incentives. So imagine you want to use me for a research, and if I'm coming all the way down to your office, so I'm coming to where you want, don't you think that I will need drinks or I will need food to refuel after all of those things? So you need to put money it's some for some companies what they do is gift cards. I saw one day from one company, one very popular company. If you successfully take their survey, they'll give you like a $10 gift card or a $5 gift card and tell you that you can use it to purchase anything on a particular platform. So and then you need to share your research findings. You need to include all of these anything you're able to get from your research. So is there any question on user research plan? Okay, so there's one more thing that you need to add in your user research plan, right? So let me go back and share the template first of all, because we are going to do something with it. There are some things that there is no need to give as assignments. Some things are better done one time. Um, can I copy this? Can I download it? Okay. This is the template site. Let me get the template and send it to us. So everyone just download this template. I hope we're all with our laptop.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So download the template. So but before we get into that, right, would have to like check some questions, create some questions, and or should we do the questions after we get the plan? Don't worry, I'll figure that out. Let me just look for a material that I want to send, that I want to use next. Sorry. Sorry, I'm looking for it. It is I can't even know where to see it right now. So let me just look for it. Where can I find it? Okay. So let me stop the share and find it.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I
Yes, you
can
can
hear you.
definitely.
Okay, is there any issue, Boma?
No, there is no issue. I'm looking for something. That's why I
Okay,
had to mute here.
all right, thank you.
TGGov. TGGov. Okay, guys. So sorry. This is what I was looking for. All right. So for user research, right? So for user research, right? There are some questions that you need to ask your users, and this is like a 35 question pattern. Anyone is saying that you need to follow them. It's that you need to follow them, but for different approach, right? So someone that is doing education, you have to customize this kind of question for your education kind of research. So now, the first kind of questions that you need to ask your users are what we call customer intro questions. Now, for customer intro questions, right, you're asking questions to know about this person. So, just like talking stage, I'm coming to ask you about yourself and not that's what I'm coming to ask you majorly. So some of the questions you can ask somebody is their age, their names, what are their typical day like for you to be able to even understand the product, the problem you want to solve. Like when do they normally use the internet? For some persons, once they wake up, the first thing they do is use the internet, right? What are the apps or website that they use mostly? What are their roles in their company? All of these kind of questions. It's called a customer intro question. You're just using it first of all to know about your customer. And then any lifestyle, anything that they like. Then the next one is so what you need to do is just the heading you need. Customer intro questions. All of these are like examples. Customer intro question. What are the things I need to ask my users first to know them? And then we have the topic specific questions. Now, this one helps you to understand their problem, the problem that they have. So you ask things like, what is their relationship? How do you normally wash your clothes, for instance, is something related to the problem I'm facing, right? Though it can be, how do you normally make your hair done? Something related to Esther's idea. How do you, what is your relationship like this? What do you go, how do you currently go about it? How much time do you spend if you want to go to a salon on your own and make your hair? Tell me about the last time you went to make your hair. What do you, what do you like about how you currently make your hair? What's like the biggest pain that is related to it? Why do you keep doing it, or why are you still making your hair? How is it very important to you? Yes, sure. You can actually send that. So actually, yes, it's very important, right? We are going to come to that because if you need to analyze their data, especially there's some persons that don't want their stores to be out. So once they sign to agree, then you can do it with them. Then you ask questions like what other tools they have tried, if they've paid, if they would like to pay for the service and all of that. And then we have the next one, which is the product opportunity questions. For this particular one, you're going to ask um if you have a plan for it. Let's say for instance you have a sketch or a prototype. This is for already existing app. Now one thing you need to note, right? User research is not just for new apps or new products. You can use existing products, right? Let's say for instance they employed you in Jumia and you want to do a design. You can actually check Jumia platform to tell them, to ask them what they think about the product. You can tell them why they think they are using the product. All of these things to just gather feedback, right? You have the product reaction questions. These questions are used to help identify suggestions or ideas. You tell them to help you, to give you ideas. So one of the questions I like asking is, how would you prefer to do this, so that you can get ideas from them. So these are like the four kinds of questions you can ask your users. Is there any question?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay, so there's no question. All right, now let's go to the part of how to set your questions before we go on with our first task for the day. SurveyMonkey. So SurveyMonkey is a platform that you can use to create questions. So this is a website, surveymonkey.com. You can also use Google Docs depending on what you want to do. Okay, first you go to the platform and then you log in. That's if you already have an account. But if you don't have an account, you can sign up. Do I have an account to these people? Okay, no. So I think I do have an account, but it's in my mail. Okay, so once you successfully signed, yeah, so nobody should first of all sign any account. Nobody should sign up for the account because you might decide to prefer Google Forms to this one. So you can see I've created different surveys, right? So all you need to do is to say create a survey. So once you create a survey, you can see the different kinds of surveys. But remember that some are free, some are paid. You can start from scratch. You can buy targeted response. You can do all of this. Then start from scratch. Then you put the survey name. So I can say design school survey. So the reason why I'm using design school survey is because I don't have any name for it. Let's say for instance, you remember to use catchy names and all of that. If you're doing for Edu app, you can put the Edu app, the search for an educational app. Then you can select the category if it's survey, if it's for um feedback, if it's vote or poll, anything you want to do, but just leave it at this category. Then you can either copy questions from a doc or you can do it. Then you can use audience target. So let's say for instance you can buy audience from here to fill your survey. Then you click on create a survey. So once you click on create a survey, the next thing you can do is to start building your questions. So you can add a title again. You can either add another a title here to tell you what you want to do. You can add a description, and then once you are done, you just say done. Once you add all of that thing, you go to save it, right? Once you save it, you can now add your question. Question one, what do you want to do here? You select the type of question. If it's multiple choice, checkbox. You select all of this, right? If you select this, you can save it. Number of buttons. What did I even select? I selected something that I don't know what I selected, but all you need to do is just do save. Once you're done with one, enter your question. So let me just say, what is your name? What is your name? And then it's a text box, right? You can just do next question. And the first one is what is your name? The second one should be anything you want to ask. Once you are done, next question till you get to done. So once you get to done, right? I'm done with this. The next thing you can do now is to preview your survey. You preview your survey. This is just your survey, and then you click on next. You can add collaborators by including their emails to it. Click on next. Collect responses. Then this is how you can collect the responses. You can send surveys your way. You can target your ID user that's buying from them. But this is not what we want to do. So this is how you can share it. You can share it via a link. You can share it. You can put it on the website and share it. You can put it You can send it via text, you can via response, and you can post it on social media, depending on what you want to do with it. And then once you are done, once you start sending the link. So let's say I copy the link, right? And I send it here on WhatsApp. Sorry, I say WhatsApp. And I send it here. You'll be able to view what I sent to you. And that's it. Now, once you are done, this is for SurveyMonkey. Google Form, the same thing. We all know Google Form. Is it forms.google? So for Google Form, right, you can just come to Google Form. Do I need to show us Google Form? Because I feel like we are all conversant with Google Form, the same way you're conversant with Google Doc. So all you need to do is to create a blank document. After creating a blank document, you can start putting your questions. So once you put your questions, what is your name? Name. You are able to duplicate it here. And once you're done, you just click on send and copy the link. You can shorten the link, then copy it and send it to people. So so that's it with Google Form. So do we understand everything we've done so far on user research?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now this is it. I want us to so depending on what you want to use, SurveyMonkey or Google Form, create okay, no, let's not use SurveyMonkey first. So use a Google Docs right now. Based on the based on the kind of research questions you're asked to do and what you've learned about research, create a 15 question for quantitative, that's for survey, 15 questions and 5 questions for interview. You have 20 minutes to do that.
Ma'am, sorry, can you come again?
Create 15 questions, but this time around, you're not putting it on Google Form or SurveyMonkey. I just want to see the question. Create quick questions on document, or you can just type it out. 15 questions for qualitative, that's for survey that you send to people. Then 5 questions for interview. That's you're creating 20 questions altogether.
Sorry, if I get you correctly, you want us to draft those questions out.
Yeah, I want you to
Like
create those. Create 20 questions now. 5 should be for interview that you ask people interview. Remember that there's a difference between surveys and interview, and then 15 for surveys.
Okay.
So,
So how
Wait,
should we submit once we are done?
so do it on Google Docs. So this is what I want you to do, right? Let me go to Google Docs. So it's only when I check out the questions and it's good to go. That's when you can put it here. But if you come on Google Docs, you can just type the questions and either send it. No, let's not flood the WhatsApp group, right?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, ma.
Okay, so you can do it on Google Docs. Just do it on Google Docs. Then once you're done, you just paste it here. So once you're done, just paste it on the chat so that I'll check the question. Once I check the question, that's when you can now post it or you can now send it. Like you can now use your forms to do it, and then I'll tell you the next step.
Buma, the question we're creating, is it from the different topics we chose? Is it based on
Yes,
that?
for your idea. Yes, for your idea. So you're creating a question, right? You're creating user research questions for that you ask your. So put it in mind, right? So that you create something good you can use online anywhere. But just know that any question you're creating, that is what you are going to ask your users.
Okay.
Yes. So let me send that book that I just used. so that you can also where's this book? Right, so I'm stopping recording first. So I've gone through all, and the same corrections that I gave from the start, that is the same thing we would implement. So what's the next step, right? The next step is now for you to you have to now put it on your Google form or any of the things you want to use, Google Form, SurveyMonkey, and share it to people. So at least I need at least 25 response from now till till Monday. That's possible, right? You've already done the question. You are not redoing the question. You're just sending it to your friends and families to help you feel. Is 25 response okay? I want to know, is 25 okay? Okay, so this one nobody's saying anything. We can get 25. We can get 25 response.
It's okay. 25 is okay.
The attendance is open now, right? I just got the message so you can feel it while we continue the class. 25 is not too much. Or like what you need to do is you have friends. You can also send it on the group chats for people to. You can do follow for follow. You know, follow for follow. David can send his
Please,
own.
you
We
send
that will
attendance.
follow.
Attendance link, I
You
beg.
send your own. Okay, so we are clear on that, right? 25 response for the survey. Then for the interview, you're doing 5. What I want you to do during the interview is get their consent, right? If you're doing a video interview, take screenshots. If you can record, record. But if you can't record, just take screenshots to show that you actually did the interview. You saw that case study we saw yesterday in class. You saw how he included his what's it called? He included the results. So that's what I'm expecting us to do also. So let me be sure that we understand that and then we can move on to the next.
Sorry, ma, please, I didn't get that. Please, can you just help us
So,
go?
all right. So for the surveys that you've already done, those ones I've corrected. I said for the other people that have not checked their work, I've already seen it. It's the same correction that I gave from the starting. That's the same correction you need to implement. So once you're done, send out the questions to your friends. You can use Google Forms or SurveyMonkey to put the questions. Send it out for people to fill. Well, I need 25 responses from the survey. Then for the interview questions, interview somebody. I think I would use one person should just do test. Fab, can you do a test for us or any other person that is interested? Maybe you can just do like a quick how you would ask the interview so I can give corrections if there is any and
Hello,
others will learn.
Boma, can you hear me? Sorry to cut you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, ma,
Yes.
I'm not indoor now, and the place is noisy.
Oh, okay, no problem.
So the attendance is open, please. You can fill up.
Yeah, thank you. We've started filling it.
Okay.
All right, so who wants to use this interview question to just do an interview with me, like to just interview me so that I can give corrections for general people, for everybody to note. If you're in a quiet place and you like to do it. So while I'm waiting for someone that will volunteer. Okay, Cynthia, you want to do it?
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, no problem then. Thank you. So now this is what like I was saying, you need 5 persons to interview. So while you're interviewing them, right, take screenshots. Tell them that they can turn on their cameras for you to just take screenshots. Ask for their consent. So once they are able to do it, so what the response we are getting is 30, 25 survey, then 5 interviews. And then for next week, we'll now start analyzing those data and all of that. So why that is, if that is understood, we can now move on to the quick interview section.
Just for confirmation, so you're saying the interview should be for just 5%, right?
Yes, 5%.
Okay, why the survey should be for 25 responses?
Yes, you just have like 30. So the thing is, once you have 25 response, right, you can decide to close it or you can decide to still leave it open. But if you can have more than 25, remember that from this thing, what we
Okay.
did in class, the numbers we said it can for survey, you can use up to 100 participants. But we are using 25 as a benchmark in this class, like as the limit that you can go. So you can go more than that. All right, so that's clear, right? Who wanted to? Is that clear? All right, so who is that? Is he Ruth? I can't remember the person. Let's do the test interview in 5 minutes. Yeah. So also your interview. You should not exceed.
I can't hear you again. Your voice is breaking.
Okay. So, yeah.
Sorry, is it just my network? Something is breaking at my end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
I
here,
think
same here.
Miss Boma is breaking.
So who wants to do that? Please now, guys, let's be fast. Okay, so since nobody is indicating interest, I think I'll just
Please, I can't hear anything.
continue.
No. What's happening?
But ensure that your interview is not more than 5 minutes. Ensure that
Miss Boma, we can't hear you. Your voice
you
is
don't
breaking.
bore your user.
Miss Mama, we've not been hearing everything you've been saying, ma.
Please, now wake up. We cannot hear you.
And also
I'm not sure she's hearing us. So.
ensure that um it's as lively as possible. Can you guys hear me?
Your
We
voice
could
is
not hear
breaking.
you.
The line was breaking.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? Like, am I breaking? I can hear you guys, but I don't know why you can't.
Wow. We can't hear
Hello?
you. We can't hear you.
The line was breaking at some point. We can't hear you.
now.
We go over it again.
Oh, okay. So, it should be better now, right?
Yeah, it's better now.
Oh, sorry for that. I think it was network. So I was asking, who is the person that wants to ask me your interview questions? Let's do that in 5 minutes. But if there's nobody asking, then we can move on to what we have, right? To the next thing we have.
So
All right. So
I didn't get that part of the question, the interview stage. I didn't get that.
okay. So for the interview, I'm asking, is there anybody that wants to use me as your number one, what's it called? As your number one audience, like a practice interview, so that I can give corrections and every other person would know how to conduct an interview.
Okay, let me try.
Oh, okay. All right, Cynthia.
Hi, good morning. My name is
Yeah, good morning.
Cynthia. Yeah, and like to have like 5 minutes
Please,
of
you're
your
not really
time.
audible. I don't know, maybe you can bring your mic closer.
Can you hear me now? I'm using system.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, my name is Cynthia Oyekwe, and please, I would like to have 5 minutes of your time. I'm working on a particular project about a therapy app for teens, lifestyle, and how to make them to open up. So please, I would like to ask you a few questions, and I will appreciate every kind answers from you. I don't know if you are willing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So what is your name? I would like to know your name.
My name is Buma.
Uh, well, how, if you don't find it offensive, how old are you? Because it's things we are working on.
I am I am 20.
Okay, thank you. So now, can you tell me a bit about your daily routine and lifestyle as a teenager?
I don't know. More inside.
Okay, so sorry, I did not quite get this question.
Okay, now I'd like to know more about you. First of all, I'd like you to tell me a bit about your daily routine and lifestyle as a teenager.
Oh, okay. So as a human being, once I get up in the morning, I once I get up in the morning, I think one of the first things I do is to carry my laptop. From there, I start working. So anytime that I'm hungry, I look for food to eat and then continue. So my life is really boring.
Okay, life is boring. No problem. That's why we are providing this app. At least it helps you
Come
to
on.
engage with other communities, other teenagers to share things, ideas, and to get some information. So, okay, going forward, I want to know some of the challenges you face in your daily life as a teenager when it comes to digital usage and preferences.
Oh, okay, so I think one of the challenge I've faced is once I'm tense. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to be answering this question like a teenager, right?
Yes.
After saying 20. Okay. So one of the challenge I have growing up, or one of the challenge I'm having, is that sometimes I need someone to talk to, sometimes I need an older person to talk to that would not judge me. But most times the people around tend to have them to judge most of the things. So let me give you an example. There was a day I was talking about that I like this person and then I was scolded for it, which normally is not supposed to be so.
Okay. Okay. Okay, before I proceed, I also want to ask you, do you feel comfortable opening up to your parents, your teachers, and to your friends? And do you really trust them?
Okay, so I think I trust my friends more than I would trust my parents. This is an interview, but I think I trust my
Yeah,
friends more than because they might beat the hell out of me.
really. I think that those your friends will not go out to spill the bean.
No.
Okay. All right. Just few minutes, 2 minutes to go. How often do you use digital app and digital platform? And which one specifically do you use, especially when it comes to dealing with your personal challenges or stress?
Okay, so I use mostly Instagram as a person, and I like Instagram because you can go and see different kind of videos and you can learn anything. I spend a minimum of 13 hours on Instagram.
Okay, that's good. Are there situations where you find it easier to talk about your feelings? Can you just describe them? let's know so that people will learn and incorporate that too.
Okay. So I've answered. So let's assume I've answered. Just ask me the
Okay,
next
Lavanta.
question.
Okay, what
Yeah.
factors makes it difficult for you to open up about issues like abuse or molestation? I don't know if you have been a victim of that before.
Okay, the fact that people would judge me, one, the fact that people would feel like I'm too young, or some people would even blame it on me that it was my fault.
Okay. Okay, now this question is not for you to answer, but it's like an experience. I just want to ask you if you have or know someone who have ever experienced abuse or molestation, and how
Yeah,
did the person cope with that kind of experience?
yeah, and the person almost committed suicide.
Um, okay, and that's why we are working on this kind of app so that it can help teenagers to leverage on it and pour out their mind. But most times when it comes to teenagers, they always find it difficult to open up, especially to their parents. And if it's a one kind of a person that have this kind of phobia when it comes to people and adults, they might not open up and you see them dying. We have a lot of scenarios like that, and that's why we are working on this particular challenge to see if we can actually provide solution to teenagers and to help them solve it. So lastly, have you ever been depressed before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I hope you'll find our app so educating and also helpful when we've finally launched it. Thank you for your
Okay,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. All right, so Cynthia, thank you. I like the way it's going, but the truth is, maybe because you know me, you might not be able to get the response that you want like this. You could see how I was not comfortable at some point talking. That's one. Secondly, the last part where you say that is why we are building an app. Remember what I said? You really don't know the solution. You don't know if I want an app. So what you would have said is to
Oh,
ask me the
okay.
question. It would have been, would you use an app? Would you use an app? You're not telling them that this is what you are doing. Would you use an app that would allow you to talk, to communicate to people, blah 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 blah. And then if they say yes, and that's where you can now introduce what your app can do, some of the features, but you don't tell them that you're building an app immediately, you get. And also
Oh,
you for every other person too, yeah, try to make it, try to minimize your questions to five. That's why I told you to do five questions. I would get all of those things. You can start with one question can be about the experience. So basically that's quickly move into what we have, and then we'll do the design for it, and we are done for the day. So for now we are going to look at what we call customer journey map. Should we do user persona before customer journey map? Okay. So we're going to look at what we call customer journey map now. So what is a customer journey map? A customer journey map is like is the experience that a customer would go through while using while using your platform to achieve a particular goal. So in customer journey map, what you do is you take into account every single point of contact the user does. So let's say for instance, the user first comes to your platform, and after that the user goes here. So that is what a customer journey map it is. Just like the overall experience a user gets to do to achieve a goal on your platform. Now, what are the things that you mostly look at in customer journey map? One of it is for the first heading, you think about the awareness, the consideration, decision, and retention. I'll get to explain all of this one after the other. Then some of the things you look at and this other point is the goals, their touch points. When you talk about touch points, where are they going to check? Their emotions, you need to put their emotions. I don't know. By the time I will show you examples, and you see that some people put emojis, level of satisfaction, if they have any questions, their pain, and then a form of improvement that they would want on the platform, right? Um, so we'll go straight down into Okay. So that's basically what a customer journey map is. So now what are the stages, the different stages? That's the first one that is on top, the stages that you need to consider when you're doing a customer journey map. The reason why I'm not going to start all of this, what problem and all of those things, is because you've been hearing it from day one, right? You're researching about your competitors, you're doing all of those things. You've been doing it from day one. So we'll just go straight to the awareness stage. What is the awareness stage? The awareness stage is that stage that your customer has identified a problem that needs solving and they have encountered your own products for the first time. So let's say you want to buy what's it called? You want to buy something online, right? And when you buy something online, the first thing you do is to go on Google and you search. I don't know how many person does that, but if I want to buy something, I'll go on the Google, for instance. I'll go on this and search for e-commerce apps. If you need a house, you go on Google and search for places where you can get a house, and then the option that they give to you, just where I searched for user research, and I was able to get all the other all things involved in user research, right? And I'll now be the one to choose. So that awareness stage is that first stage that a user comes and identify a problem and they are coming in contact with your platform. The next one is the consideration stage. This is the stage where they have seen your platform and now they are researching your brand as well as competitors to see which one they will go for. So they start coming to your homepage, they start coming to you, they check your price to check if your price is competitive. They check your contact us section, they are able to contact you. So and all of those things. And then you have the decision stage. So for this consideration stage, I've been here for the past 2 days. I've been trying to get something. And I've looked at different vendors, I've seen different prices, and I'm still not sure which one to use. And then we have the decision stage where you have gathered enough and then you just commit that it's either you purchase online or you do all of those things. We have the retention stage. The retention stage is that stage where um you can keep your users. You can still, after they have done purchasing, they will now still try to become loyal customers. So these are the 4 stages that you should think of. So these other ones include the goals, the touch points, the emotions. Now, what is a touch point? A touch point is the part that your users use to interact with your system, whether it's via how will I put it, via advertisement, your website, an online review. Maybe somebody commented that they are the best in the whole of Nigeria. So that's a touch point. That's like a touch point. And then you can now start including all of those things. So let's take, for instance, let's look at this image, right? You can it's a customer journey map. Now, the first thing is we could see the personal info. Kat is a 25 years person that needs where to take his kids on a Saturday. His objective is to attract more family to dine in with the restaurant. And that you can see the different stages: the awareness stage, the consideration stage, the purchase stage, the retention stage. This one I can see a chart. Is it that? Okay, sure, I will. And then for the touch points, you have places like Google search, consideration, you go to the website homepage, dining. For the decision, you check in the dining and all of that. Then the retention, the hostess. Emotions, you are worried and curious. Maybe consideration, you're disappointed, you're eager and excited and all of that. And then your level of satisfaction, if you cannot use different emojis, right, to show how satisfied you are. Quotes or questions, you can ask questions. If you can ask questions, then your pain points. What did you not like about the whole platform? So is it clear, the customer journey map? Is
Yeah, yeah, it's clear.
clear? Oh, you have a question. Designing a customer journey map from Figma. So all right, let's look at customer journey map. So you can see different types. I'm looking for the very complex one that will do, right? Okay, so which one should we do? I'm looking for something hard. So guys, select with me now.
Yeah, I think the one you clicked on is quite okay, the purple one.
Okay, that one is simple. I'm not asking, I'm not looking for simple something. Okay, so here you go. Where did I create more design school? Okay, here's it. Okay. Okay, so I would have two here. This is the first one. This is the first one. This is the second one. So we'll do any of it. Okay. So we have it first thing first, right? The same thing we did yesterday. You pick up your frame first, and you can draw your frame. So I'll make this. This is the first frame. You always need to rename, right? Rename your frame. So I'll call this customer journey map. So what's the first step? The first thing is to either do a line, right? So this is what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to create my rectangle first. Okay, I've created my image frame first. After creating my image frame, I'm now going to create these other two parts. So your image frame can be circle, it can be rectangle, anyone you want. So I think I need to use circle. Okay, so after that, the next one is your first text, your text. So you can start with the name of the person, like the info. So remember that you know that this thing that we are doing now, you need to get it from you need to just assume sometimes, then you get some from your user research, right? So this is what I'm doing. So I'm doing this is the first one. So what should I even do first? So there's no one way of doing it. I think I should first of all create these boxes before I do anything I want to do. So how many boxes are we supposed to have here? We are supposed to have four. So I'll create the four boxes first of all. So I would give the first one. These are my boxes. So there's something I'll do, guys. Please don't ask me how I did it first. So I'm going to hold everything together, and I will say okay, let me not use it so that we don't get confused about the whole process. So I'll just keep all like this. And then this is it. So the next one is to now write what I want to write on them. We have awareness, awareness. Okay. So the next one is what? Consideration, guys. Consideration. So the next one is decision and retention. So let me just copy this, Control D, and paste it here. Decision. And the last one is what? Retention. Retention. Okay, so now that we are done with this, right? We are done with this first part. So you know why I left this part, right? Let me use rectangle to actually tell you why I left this part. This part will be for my demography, like about the person. This box is going to be about this person, so I'll just get to uh put it here. So let me move this a bit. You can see that I'm not even adding any color for now because I want to first of all get everything before I can start adding color. And then this is now going to be my image part. Where I'll put my image, and so all right, so I've arranged this first part. Now I need to now do this second part. So you can either use lines to do that, or you can draw actual boxes. So you can see that for these ones, they are actual boxes. So let's just get the boxes right. This should be like the first thing. Okay. So and just start creating the boxes. So this is a I want to be able to share this into equal parts. So let me see. All right, so this is it, right? And then you just do it till you get to the end. Control G. So first of all, align all together, then Control G, Control D, and then Control D, Control D. So that's it. So this is it, right? All right, now personal info. You can now start adding colors to anything you want to add. Remember to add this. I should add like 20. Okay. So I
Please,
think
your Control G, is it for grouping?
yes, Control G is for grouping.
Okay. Okay. You highlight them first, all of them, then you
Yes.
take.
Then you group it. So this is 20. Control G, and this is Control G, and this is 20. And this is 17, Control G. So then you tidy it up. So group them. So this is what I'm going to do, right? I'm just going to hold everything. And I'll just click on Shift A.
I see you have another question, but I don't see it's connected.
Hello? Is the question for me? Hello, is there any question for me? Okay, so there's no question. I don't know why I feel like I need to delete that one to bring in the circle instead of that one that I have. So now that I have this thing, what are the things I'm using to test? The first one is goals, touch points, satisfaction, quotes. So we'll come here and do for all.
Okay, ma.
Okay.
The awareness, those awareness, consideration, decision, and retention, are they constant?
Yes, they are.
Okay, just those four. Okay, those four.
Yeah, those four are constant. This one too is also constant. Goals, touch points, emotions. If you check, it's still the same thing. Steps, that's a goal, touch point, thinking. So these are the most important. These also are important. Goals, touch point. That the touch point is how they're going to enter your system. So let's type those ones now. Goals. So once I'm done, that's when I'll now start arranging it the way I want to arrange it, right? So for now, I'll just do what I want to do. Goals, control D, touch points. Now, what's the next one? Emotions. What's the next one? Satisfaction, questions, pinpoints. Satisfaction, satisfaction. Question, pinpoints. Then there's one more. That's suggestions.
Okay, ma.
Opportunities or suggestions, yeah?
I have another question. I just want to know that, okay, I just want to be sure. This customer journey map is more like, okay, the experience we expect our customer, maybe the user, to go through
Yeah.
while using the app or website we are
Yes.
creating, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that means it's maybe both the positive side and the negative side. Are we looking at it like that?
Yeah, so if you're doing this for an already existing app, right? You're mostly looking at how their behavior using a website. But if you're using it for a new app, right, you're trying to assume or you're trying to create an experience for them. So you can just make it when they are angry, the kind of emotions they will feel when they are using your platform, the kind of emotion they will feel when they come across any form of error or all of that.
Okay, if I can get the little explanation. Okay, let's assume it's for an existing probably website or app. Is it that you would have access to the app, maybe probably while they are using it, you can actually see everything that they are going through, or how do you kind of pilot and collate the things they will be going through when they are actually using the app or the website?
So we've been talking about research, right? That's one of the things research will help you do. So let's say you want to do research for a platform that is already existing, right? You want to do research for Jumia. So your questions will not be around building a new app, Abby. Your question will be about Jumia app, how they feel, and then you can also get your response. That's why sometimes you see some of these companies that will tell you
Your
how
line is breaking.
it's can you
Ma, I can't hear
somehow
you.
have
The line is breaking.
somebody is calling me.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. I thought the problem was from my side.
All right, sorry guys, can you hear me? A call came in and it disturbed my network. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear you,
ma'am.
ma.
Oh, sorry about that. So I was trying to explain that if you're doing for already existing app, right, you see all of those surveys that they send out to tell you we've been serving you for a while and would want you to tell us how you feel about our platform. Have
Oh,
you come
yes.
across?
Yes, ma.
Yes, those
Yes,
kind. You
yes.
can get customer journey map from those data to know how they've been feeling using the platform. Then you can know how many persons you've retained, how many persons turned customers, and all of those things. You can also ask their point of contact and all.
Okay,
So,
ma. So one more thing. Okay.
all right.
I'm
No, go
listening.
on, ask.
So if I can actually understand what you're saying, maybe let's assume for Jumia now, um, immediately once you create maybe the app interface and the user experience, that means the product designer will still be working with them to actually send out that
Yes, your
that
work, yes. Your work is to make
mhm.
the process easy. So now let's take for instance, right? You're trying to create a scenario of a user. For you now, you can see this customer journey map, right? For a user. Let's say the user first of all, the awareness stage is the stage where the user finds what the person wants to buy, or the person knows that I want to buy this thing. Remember that I said the awareness stage is the stage where you think of the problem. So let's say I want to buy a new phone. What are the things to do during the consideration? You look for people that are selling phones or places that are selling phones, places like Jumia, Konga, and all of that. And then you start looking at based on your human being, the things you now start considering is what are their price, how many persons are using them, or which persons, or what kind of people are using them, and then what are their offerings and all of that. And then let's say they have a specific amount and you now want to buy it, you can now say, okay, is there a discount? You now check if there's a discount. How do you pay? How do you cancel, for instance? And then when you've used it, you now for retention, how good is the service and all of that. So that's basically it. So are you together?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, no problem. All right, so I'm coming. Let's continue the design. So we are at the point where we are designing it now. All right, so this is it. Sorry. All right, so we've already listed out all the things we need to list out, right? These are the things we need to list out. So I think for me, I can start making it fine. So for emotions, right, I'll get to put different kind of emotions in different stages. So let's say, for instance, the first stage, right, during emotion, this person is worried. So this is what I want to do. I want to use let me take my for emotions. I don't want to use text, so I want to use what's it called? Emojis. So what is the under awareness stage, what kind of emotion do you think a user would have? For those of us that understand, you don't know how you're feeling under awareness stage. So let's say I'm using this. So let's say I'm increasing this to like, guys, are we together? Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Sorry,
ma'am.
Chima.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So what do you feel under consideration stage? I think I should make this one on top of each other so that it doesn't look like it's a different heading altogether. So okay. All right. So under awareness, under the first stage, this is what we can think of, right? Now the next one is under so something is missing here and nobody said it. Is it that nobody noticed? Guys, none of you noticed, right? This box is missing.
Okay.
So each of these, this is supposed to be each of these, each of the stages. And this is where I can now make this 10 or 20. And then on group, and then I'll put this on group, then I'll put this on group and put this. Okay. So time to work with colors, or time to think of colors, right? So let's group this together first. So I can now use different colors, right? To okay, so let's assume that we can use these colors and we've been able to use them. Mm, I think I should use this yellow instead, this one here. So I'll just pick it up. Okay. And then let's so this is all okay. Then what kind of emotion do you feel during the consideration stage? Hello? During consideration stage, what emotions do you feel?
Probably thinking.
Yeah, thinking. Well, now how do I get thinking? On my laptop. So I'm looking for it too. Okay, I can see search now. Thinking. Thinking. How do I search? Okay, so I think if you right click, right, you'll be able to see emojis on Windows. I don't know. Well, so let's see thinking.
I did do emojis in the widgets section.
Yeah, there are. That's true. Thank you. There are. If you use plugins, you can get emojis via plugins. But I have them directly on my system, so there's no need using those other ones. 96. So this is it. Then during this decision phase, what do you think they do? During decision phase, they are either eager
Sir,
or hello.
me ń gbọ́. Iye tí mo sọ fún yín yẹn pé wọ́n gbà
Esther,
náà.
oh,
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What kind of emotion do you feel? So let me get all of this as fast as I can. Plugins, Vavata, fill object. Let me put someone's picture there. And then let me just say Ibrahim. Just put anything there saying Ibrahim personal info. So I can delete this box, right? This box was just solely to be able to divide my screen. So I can say personal info. Ibrahim Ibrahim is a graphics designer that is looking to get an ergonomic chair so that it can work effectively. So that it can work effectively. So this is Ivan's profile. And then what are his objectives? You can just try to put the objective part somewhere. So let me remove the color. So this is basically it for Ibrahim. Remove the color here. So I can just say objective, Control D, and I bring it off here. And then I'll just say objective. So I can decide to make this it wants to work effectively. It wants to reduce so work effectively. With any other objective, you need to know the kind of objective your users want with getting that. So let's come here and you can see I can have this list style. I can just have list. You just need to come on these three dots, 1, 2, 3, and you see list and every other thing you can do. That's it. And so I'm just going to increase the line spacing for this particular one, and then I'll show this out. So this is it for this part. You can increase it if you want. This font is already too big. But it's for my screen, that's why it's looking small, right? But this is too big already, and this works. And so you're done with all of this. So all I can do now is just the same way you have this. I can decide to change the colors of all of this. So I can decide to use let's say I can decide to use blue, a shade of blue. So you can see the color I'm using right here, right? Or I can decide to use all year white. So let me copy this color first. Oh, okay. So for the color, right, I'm working with blue, right, and I'm using this. So this is it. I'll copy this, Control C, and I'll highlight everything here, and I'll just change the color of this. Like I'll highlight everything here, and I'll change the color. I'll just fix the color. I'll do same here, and I'll fix. So fix the color, and that's it. And for this part, I can just change the whole color. Please. Okay, so for this part, I'll just change the color to white. And I'll do the same for this white. And that's it. So this side, I can decide to add a stroke, right? That's if you want. Well, I don't think there's any need for a stroke, and you're done. Anything to make your design better. And then you can start all of these things. You can start filling in all of these things. For the goals, what does he want? He wants to get um he wants to buy a chair. He wants to buy a chair. And this is 96, so I'll give it a 16 or 32. He wants to buy a chair. Um, what are the consideration? What are the things you will consider when buying this chair? You will get to consider the best providers. Thus, you can check for his many options. So at this point, I don't think I need to even do this course. We now know what is expected of us. All of these details, you will get to fill it in yourself. So second task in class, because I know that if I give you assignment, you'll not do it. Second task in class, create a customer journey map.
So before you go to the I just wanted to ask so using this that you created now as an example, it just looks like just like one customer basically. Is it to make a response to just one customer or just for the whole customer? You know, since every customer we have their different ways of using the app as well. So let me just understand that part of what is
Okay,
template.
so
What is template are looking like just for one person.
so I'm trying to, so let me just give you, for instance, you're trying to now create a journey map. So let's take, for instance, right, what product are you working on? Solar. Is it the one that is working on solar?
Yeah, energy tariff actually.
Yeah, energy tariff. So take your customer journey map as the kind of experience you want your users to get. So for customer journey map, what is the goal, or what do you want your users to do? Your users should select a tariff, look for a tariff to buy, right? Or to look for the best best service providers. So you can say he wants to buy power, electricity. What is he considering? He's considering, if you look at this, right, he's considering the price. That's is going online, is finding options online to see which one
Yeah.
is better. Then what is his decision? His decision will now be that he has seen it, okay, he has seen it, so let me use the service. And then he will decide to, if he decides to use it, what is now the last part, which is retention, he will keep using it, right? So that's the first one for goal. Now if you come to touch point, what is that platform you want your users to use to interact with the system? The first one is, maybe they should, if they search on Google, your name should pop up, right? Then the next one is, the consideration is they should look at your website, right? The next one is they should maybe look at your price and agree to buy. And then retention, they would put in their card details. What are the emotions for the first time coming to if you're selling something to somebody for the first time, the person would always be worried. That's the emotion. So you want them to be worried at first, and then they should be during consideration, they should be happy, or they should be former okay about it. Then decision time, they should be excited that they want to buy. And then during the retention, that means they should be accomplished, they should be hopeful. All of these words, depending on the kind of words you want to use. Then the level of satisfaction can be on a scale of 1 to 5. During the this thing phase, you want them to be happy, or you want them to be satisfied, like 3% satisfied. During consideration stage, you want them to be over satisfied. You can now start putting, you can see that this person, this is using the different level. What these particular people they did is they use different kind of emotions, and you can see that during the first stage, awareness stage, is kind of confused. During this stage, he's still thinking somehow, but during this stage, he's becoming very happy, like he's becoming happy, and this stage is still happy. You can see how it's going. So it's just like the kind of just put it in your head that you're trying to create an emotion, or create something that you want your users to experience and enjoy. So what are the things you want them to do at every stage? So is this better now? Is this explanation better now?
Yes, yes,
And then the last one, which is mostly for suggestions, that during the awareness stage, what do you want them to use to suggest? Let's say you want them to have like a contact us, you want them to have like a form to put question, queries, all of those things. Or not really suggestion, you can also call it opportunity. During the opportunity, what do you expect to do? You need to extend marketing, you need to provide a positive image, you need to improve payments, you need to improve this, improve that. So basically, that's what I want you to do. So you need to feel all of these things. Me, I'm using someone that wants to buy something. During consideration, he will be considering the price of Jumia and Alibaba. During the session, he would have decided what to do. Retention, you put your card. There's some people that have their card stored on Jumia. Then touch points, I'll never first of all go on Google. Secondly, I'll check Jumia landing page. During the decision time, I'll look at their payments and all of those things and move on. Emotions, the first time I'm a bit I'm not confused, I'm a bit skeptical. I'm thinking about it, and then maybe I finally make a decision and I'm happy, and another form of happiness. You get? Do we get? Hello?
Yes, ma.
yes.
All right, so we have just 20 minutes to do that.
So
It's not
are
as
we
easy.
creating exactly? Are we creating exactly this particular one? Is that what we're doing?
No. So one thing I've come to teach, even your graphics instructor taught you that go online, look for inspiration. There are different customer journey map. You can't use just this one. You can see another one that you can do that is finer than this, or that is more simpler than this. As far as you are doing the customer journey map is left for you. See them, see different options, see different types. Anyone you can do. This is another one. Can you do this type? This is another type. This is a journey map. One thing you can see is the heading is, but sometimes different words. All right, so let me pause the recording.